The motor mount bolts, which is really weird because we should have, we need 4, we should have 8 because we got motor mounts from both engines, but can't seem to find any of them. But that's okay because we saved this, which is all the miscellaneous bolts off of the 150. So I'll bet you there's enough in there to get the motor mounts mounted up. So let's start putting all this stuff together for real now. What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. It's Joel with Motors and Mischief. Today we're working on our F-250 that we bought for $200 and that we're doing a total frame off restoration. And when I say frame off restoration, I mean frame off restoration. Look at that. In last episode we got this cab off and you can see that we used our engine hoist to do it. It actually worked surprisingly well. I was going to tell you guys not to do that at home because it seems silly and dangerous, but it actually worked great. So knock yourselves out, just don't hurt yourselves. This is our frame, and you can see here that this truck had some sort of underbody coating on it, which is kind of all over there, and we've got it on the sides here, and we even have it on the front. We're gonna have to clean all that off because we're doing the full restoration on this. There's quite a bit of dirt and grease and oil and stuff from 30 years of 35 years now of leaks on this thing. We got our beautiful new engine that we've restored to go back into it. It's all painted up and gorgeous. So now we got to clean up the rest of the frame and make it look as nice as the engine looks. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean all the rust off of this is just surface rust. So we're just going to prep it and then paint it. And then we're going to clean up all of this nastiness here and get that all taken care of so that we can paint it as well. We're also going to order some suspension components. We're going to put a new drag link in, and because this is a TTB, a twin traction beam frame, it doesn't have a track bar thing we just put in the Jeep. Doesn't have a track bar, so we don't have to worry about that, but I definitely think the steering is going to be loose after all these years, so we'll put a new drag link in it and get new steering components for it. We're also going to need to get new shocks, so we'll probably do those, I don't know, pretty soon. They're still easy to get to until we put the fenders back on, so we'll probably wait on those. But yeah, we're going to get that all cleaned up and then painted. So first thing we got to do is clean it and get it ready for paint, and then I'll show you guys the tractor paint that we're going to put on it. It's practically indestructible, and that will protect that frame and make it look beautiful. So first thing to do, let's get it cleaned. Okay, so we pulled the power steering cooler, and I noticed that we've got our power steering gearbox right here. And I wondered how much a new one was, and if they were cheap, we'd just go ahead and replace it. They're like $300 even from Rock Auto, so we're definitely going to be saving this. We don't want anything bad to happen to it. So we're going to go ahead and seal off these. I'm having trouble getting the tape stick to them, so we'll get those cleaned up so that we can make sure these are sealed off and nothing falls down inside. Okay, we need to pull the steering gearbox because there's just a ton of crud behind it, and we got to clean it up. We got to get the frame cleaned behind it and paint it and everything, and I don't want to try to paint around it. That would be a halfway way of doing it. So let's go ahead and pull that off. All right, we got that off. That was pretty good. Came right off, and we'll get it cleaned up probably off camera. Like I said, a new one's like $350, so we're definitely not replacing it. But we'll get that cleaned up, and I'm sure it'll be just fine. But now we've got plenty of room on the frame to be able to get cleaned up from behind there and get all that all taken care of. So let's get back on cleaning. Okay guys, that was a lot of work, but we got it all sanded down. So the frame's all prepped, and you can see it's all ready for paint. So up here, got that all cleaned up, and everything else is ready to go. Now I think it's probably a good idea to make sure that we're on the same page on exactly what we're doing with this truck. We're not doing a concours restoration on it, although you would be forgiven if, based on the engine, you thought that that was the case. I want the engine to look nice because that's what you're going to be able to see when you open the hood. And the stuff that you can see under the hood, I want it to look nice. I want the jams to look nice. I want the body to look nice. I want all the stuff that you can see to look good. The reason that we're doing the frame and getting it painted up is because what we're trying to do with this truck is not totally restore it to like a show truck or something like that. We're trying to turn it into a truck that will be able to work really hard without having any problems going forward. So we want to paint the frame so that it doesn't rust. We want to put Raptor liner on it so that it doesn't have any additional rust issues and that it helps with the soundproofing, and basically just do up the truck the way that we would want it so that it would be perfect and be an awesome truck. And it should make it last years and years and years and years and years. So it'll be really cool, but it'll be totally functional. So what we're working on is functional stuff. So what we're going to do right now is obviously if we're doing like a concours or something, we would send the frame out, have it powder coated or sandblasted and then painted or something like that. But we're not doing concours. We're just doing a good solid restoration so that we can protect the truck from rust and make sure that it can last real long and be a good reliable truck. So we're going to paint it and paint the frame. And what we're going to do first is we're going to hit it with this rust reversal paint. Been using this stuff for quite a while. I've had really good luck with it. Basically anywhere that's got surface rust on it, we'll hit it with this. This will turn this, basically chemically reverses the rust, turns it into metal. And then we'll paint over it with that tractor paint. So first thing that we got to do is you can see the frame taped off on places where we're not going to paint, and go ahead and start spraying on this stuff. So let's do that. All right, we're all done with the spray paint part of getting the frame done. So all that rust has been converted back to metal. Now, that paint is fantastic at converting rust into metal, but it's not super strong. And if you hit it, it will just scratch right off. So we don't want that. So what we're going to do, and what the manufacturer advises you to do, is cover it with regular paint. So it works as a perfect base. And then what we're going to do is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but this is tractor paint. This stuff is absolutely indestructible. This is what they paint tractors and heavy equipment with, industrial equipment. This stuff is unbelievable. It goes on thick. It's super heavy. It's really strong, and you can hit it with a hammer once it's dry, and it doesn't bother it. So we're going to paint up the entire frame with this, and that will make all of our rust paint nice and strong, and it will give a nice strong finish to the frame. So, and then once we get the engine and transmission in and everything, then we'll go ahead and we'll pull the bed, and then we'll do the second half of this truck. I don't have enough room in the garage right now to put both the bed and the cab in without putting Sheila's Jeep outside. And Sheila doesn't mind if I take up 2 stalls in the garage, but she really gets upset when I take up 3. So we're going to do this one half at a time. All right, so it's time to do the industrial paint. So tractor paint, get tractor paint on there. Alright guys, we're all done with the painting. Check this out. Doesn't that look nice? Came out really good. Obviously it's still drying, so you'll see it's still wet in some places, but huge improvement over what it was. So that is it for tonight. It's getting late. I'm going to go in and have dinner. And tomorrow we are going to jump on getting the transmission cleaned up, which it's a mess, as you can see. So we gotta clean it up and get it ready to go back in. And then we'll pull the engine off the stand and we'll put the engine in the truck. So yeah, that's awesome. All right, see you guys in the morning. All right, guys, it's the next day. And you're looking around and you're noticing the background and you're thinking, Joel, how could it be the next day? It looks like it's getting dark. It looks like it's the end of the next day. And you would be absolutely right, because I decided to clean up the transmission and get everything ready to go off camera so that you guys didn't have to see more cleaning. And it took all freaking day. So that's done. I'm very excited about it. Let me show you what I did. Engine's ready to go, ready to get off the engine stand. We got the factory mount or brackets bolted back on. We got this handy dandy thing for being able to pull it up, and that's all ready to go. Then we got, you guys saw this yesterday, we got that all painted, came out really nice, looks great. That's all ready to go. And then here is our transmission. So you can see it is gorgeous. And it took all day to get it looking like that. So it is ready to go. I got the torque converter back on. We got that turned and ready to go. And then up here, we got the dust shield all cleaned up, and we got the flex plate, whatever this thing's called. That's all ready to go. And that took all day. So it is the end of the day on the next day. But that's okay. It's not so dark that we can't keep working. So we're going to keep working. So what we're going to do now is pull the engine off the engine stand there, get it onto the engine hoist right there, and then we're going to take it over and hook it up to that transmission. So we'll put the, we got to do a rear main because we haven't been able to do that since it's been sitting on the engine stand. And so we're going to do a rear main, and then we're going to put the dust shield on, the flex plate, and then we'll attach it to the transmission. Once those are both ready to go, we've got brand new motor mounts, and we'll put the motor mounts in the truck, and then we're just going to pick it up, set it right into the truck right there, and that will be awesome. And I'm super excited about that because those of you who follow the channel know that I just put a transmission in my daughter's Jeep Grand Cherokee, and I also just put a transmission in the Danger Ranger for Tyler, because right after we bought the Jeep knowing it needed a transmission, and then apparently the Ranger wanted in on the deal because it blew up its transmission right after we finished the Jeep. So I honestly could just not bear climbing underneath the truck to do a third transmission because transmissions are not my favorite. So it was much easier, believe it or not, to pull the cab and be able to drop the transmission and the engine in from up above. At least mentally it was a lot easier. So here is the cab, and as soon as we get the engine and stuff in, then we'll get going on those cab corners and some other cool stuff that we're going to do the back of this. So let's get to work and see if we can get this engine hooked up to this transmission. So first we'll do the rear main seal, and then we'll hook everything together and we'll put it in the truck. All right, let's go. All right, guys, it's in. And as you can tell, it's the next day. We worked all night. No, actually we didn't. It got dark, we got tired, and dinner got ready. So I went in, took care of that, and then we finished first thing in the morning. So check it out. Engine's all in. Sitting on its motor mounts, looks really good. Transmission's all in, looks great. Transfer case all hooked back up, everything looks terrific. And let me show you this. I was talking about how strong this industrial paint is. Check it out. This the hoist smashed up against this frame over and over and over, and that's all it did. It was scratch the paint a little bit. It hit it hard. I should have just gouged it all off of there, but man, that paint sticks good. So glad we put that stuff on there. So that's it. We're going to go ahead and call the episode right here. So hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, and follow us on Mischief for All for behind the scenes stuff that you don't get here. All right, we love you guys. Thanks so much. Peace. We need to pull the power steering. No, not power steering. That's not right. Feel like I said tractor a whole lot. Like I said, first we'll do the seal. First we'll do the, what's it called? First we'll do the rear main seal, and then, but we've got the